In the opening scene, we are introduced to Jennifer Hills, a novelist who decides to retreat to a secluded area away from the bustling city of New York to focus on writing her next book in solitude. She rents a remote cabin in Louisiana from an elderly man named Earl. Since the location is quite isolated, Earl thoughtfully provides Jennifer with a map and explains everything she needs to know to avoid getting lost. After making the necessary payments, Jennifer embarks on her journey to Louisiana. Along the way, she stops at a gas station to refuel and confirm the location of the cabin. There, she meets Johnny Miller, the gas station attendant on duty, who is immediately captivated by her beauty. Johnny attempts to flirt with her in front of his two friends, Andy Konski and Stanley Woods. However, his advances make Jennifer uncomfortable, prompting her to leave quickly. Andy and Stanley laugh at their friend's failed attempt, while Johnny, feeling humiliated, vows to teach Jennifer a lesson. Jennifer eventually arrives at the cabin, which is nestled near a serene lake in the woods. The remote setting pleases her, as it provides the peace and quiet she needs to concentrate on her novel. After settling in, she unwinds by the lake with a glass of wine. Later that night, while speaking with a friend on the phone, she is startled by unusual noises coming from outside. Mustering her courage, she investigates the surroundings and discovers a shed filled with tools, but nothing appears out of the ordinary. Convinced that the noises were likely caused by rats, she returns to the cabin. The following morning, as Jennifer washes her clothes in the sink, she remains unaware that someone is secretly recording her from outside the window. Later, during her morning jog, she stumbles upon an abandoned house deep in the woods. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she explores the interior, finding tools similar to those in the shed near her cabin. Although she finds it odd, she brushes off the discovery and returns to continue her work. Upon arriving back at the cabin, she attempts to wash her face, but is met with murky water from the tap and a clogged toilet. Frustrated, she contacts Earl to inform him of the faulty plumbing. Her problems escalate when her phone accidentally falls into the toilet after her call with Earl. Shortly after, Earl sends a plumber named Matthew Duncan to fix the issue. Matthew efficiently completes the repairs and leaves. Meanwhile, Johnny and his friends are seen lounging near the lake by Jennifer's cabin. When Matthew joins them, he falsely claims that Jennifer kissed him while he was fixing the plumbing. Hearing this, Stanley reveals that he has been secretly recording Jennifer, showing them footage of her washing clothes. Johnny, still bitter about being rejected, grows angry and suggests confronting her. That night, Jennifer, feeling relaxed, indulges in illegal substances until she passes out. Suddenly, she senses someone outside her cabin and steps out to investigate. Although she sees no one, she is disturbed to find a dead bird placed on her porch. Without much thought, she moves the carcass aside and goes back inside, only to discover that her laptop wallpaper has been changed to an image of Johnny and his friends. Unease creeps over her as she realizes that something is terribly wrong. Moments later, Jennifer finds herself face to face with Johnny and his gang, who have entered her cabin without permission. Terrified, she demands that they leave, but her words fall on deaf ears. Johnny launches an attack, and just as they are about to assault her, Jennifer manages to escape into the woods. She runs frantically until she stumbles upon Earl, who is out hunting with his friend, Sheriff Storch. Desperate, she reports the incident to them. Upon hearing Jennifer's account, Storch instructs Earl to head home while he and Jennifer return to the cabin to investigate. Armed with his gun, Storch orders Johnny and his friends to surrender, but the cabin appears empty, as if they have already fled. As Storch inspects the premises, he comes across alcohol and illegal substances that Jennifer had used earlier. Finding no sign of Johnny and his gang, he accuses Jennifer of fabricating the story. Jennifer insists on the truth, but unexpectedly Johnny and his friends return to the cabin. Shockingly, Storch does not protect her. Instead, he reveals that he has been conspiring with the group all along. Trapped and outnumbered, Jennifer is overpowered. Johnny forces Matthew to take part in the assault, while Stanley gleefully records the horrific ordeal. After the attack, the men drag Jennifer into the woods, taking turns abusing her again. When they are done, they force her to walk naked through the forest while they follow closely behind. Upon reaching a bridge, Storch prepares to shoot her, but in a desperate act, Jennifer leaps off the bridge and plunges into the river below. Uncertain of her fate, Storch orders Johnny and the others to search the river to confirm her death. He also instructs Stanley to destroy the recording of the assault and to burn all of Jennifer's belongings to erase any evidence of their crime. Several days later, Matthew is seen searching the riverbank, tormented by guilt and haunted by the horrifying events. A month later, Jennifer's family, worried about her sudden disappearance, reaches out to Earl for information. Since he knows nothing, he contacts Storch, informing him that Jennifer's family plans to report her missing to the police. Meanwhile, Stanley begins to panic when he discovers that the cassette containing the assault footage has mysteriously vanished. Unbeknownst to the others, he had destroyed an empty tape in front of them, keeping the original for himself. Now, realizing that someone has stolen it, he reluctantly informs Johnny and the group. Johnny, furious, nearly attacks Stanley, but Andy intervenes, urging them to find a solution. That night, Johnny is startled when a dead bird is thrown at his doorstep, instantly reminding him of the similar incident at Jennifer's cabin. Just as he is about to enter his house, he hears rustling in the bushes and investigates. Though he finds no one, he notices rubber bands scattered on the ground, belonging to Matthew. Meanwhile, Storch returns home from work and is stunned to find a videotape sent to him by Jennifer. Panic washes over him as he fears that his wife may have seen it. When he questions her, he is relieved to learn that she has not yet played the tape. Assuming it to be blank, he dismisses the matter. Shortly afterward, Storch convenes with Johnny and his gang, furious that Stanley failed to destroy the original recording. He warns them that if the evidence falls into the wrong hands, they could all be in serious trouble. In the aftermath of their horrific crime, Johnny and his friends discuss the strange events that have befallen them. With mounting evidence, they suspect that Matthew has been terrorizing them. Storr, their accomplice, orders Johnny and the others to confront Matthew. Meanwhile, Storr invites Earl on a hunting trip, as they often do. As Earl takes a break, Storr unexpectedly kills him, eliminating a witness to Jennifer's disappearance. Earl had known someone was harassing Jennifer at the cabin, making him a potential threat to their secret. At the same time, Matthew, arriving at Earl's cabin, is startled by Jennifer's voice. In his fear, he accidentally falls down the stairs and loses consciousness. When he comes to, he is in shock. Jennifer is alive and seeking revenge. Though she recognizes that Matthew regrets his actions, she refuses to forgive him. Without hesitation, she grabs a rope and strangles him. Elsewhere, Andy and Stanley search for Matthew in the woods. At the lake's edge, Andy sees a figure he believes is Matthew and follows. Suddenly, Stanley jumps out to startle him. Before they can process what's happening, they hear Matthew's voice coming from the abandoned house in the woods. As Stanley steps forward to investigate, he unknowingly triggers a bear trap that Jennifer had set, clamping down on his leg. Hearing his friend's screams, Andy rushes to help, but is blindsided by Jennifer, who strikes him from behind with a bat. When Andy regains consciousness, he finds himself suspended above a bathtub filling with water. Meanwhile, Stanley, in agonizing pain from his broken leg, is unable to defend himself. Jennifer records her revenge, mirroring what they had done to her. She then tortures Stanley, tying him to a tree and hooking his eyelids open with fishing hooks, before leaving him to his fate. Returning to Andy, Jennifer submerges his face in the water repeatedly. Not satisfied, she adds powdered lye to the water, causing his skin to blister horribly. Andy writhes in agony before succumbing to his wounds. Meanwhile, Stanley, left defenseless, becomes food for crows, dying a slow and gruesome death. Back at the gas station, Johnny continues his routine as an attendant when Jennifer suddenly appears. Before he can react, she knocks him unconscious. Hours later, Johnny wakes up in an abandoned room, bound and gagged. His mouth is held open by a rusty iron bar. Jennifer exacts her revenge by pulling out his teeth one by one, inflicting unbearable pain until he dies. Meanwhile, Storr, patrolling as usual, receives a chilling call from Jennifer. She claims to be with his daughter, Chastity. Panicked, Storr rushes home, only to find out from his wife that Chastity is playing in the park with Jennifer. Without hesitation, Storr speeds off to the park to search for her. However, he finds no sign of his daughter. Returning to his car, he is unaware that Jennifer is already in the back seat. She swiftly knocks him unconscious. When Storr awakens, he finds himself tied up in an abandoned house deep in the woods, a gun aimed at his body. He pleads for his life, claiming to regret his actions. But Jennifer remains unmoved. She continues to torment him, relishing his fear. Finally, Jennifer ties the gun's trigger to Matthew's limp hand. As Matthew regains consciousness, he is disoriented and confused. Seeing Storr before him, covered in blood, he panics. Storr frantically warns him not to move, but it's too late. Matthew's movement pulls the trigger, firing the gun and killing them both. In the final scene, Jennifer stands outside the abandoned house, listening to the echo of the gunshot. A satisfied smile spreads across her face as she walks away into the woods. Thanks for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a great day.